try one more time, nice and fucking chill. 1, 2, 3. January, day 21. So this one started out as just a simple drum beat. And all I wanted to do in this jam was play keyboard part, mess with some chords, fiddle around over this drum beat. And I just wanted to do one long take of that and cut out a good section of it, and that would be the entire jam. And I did that, took the video and edited it, and it was ready to go. I mean, edited it, I cut out the one bit. This was a very, very easy one to edit, because I'm making all of these a day in advance so I can post them earlier in the day instead of posting some of them at like last year was a mess. Some of them I posted at like 2 p.m. and some I posted at like midnight. It was absolutely all over the place. So anyway, I've been doing every jam one day in advance so that I'm still doing one every day, but I can just like regulate my posting schedule a little bit better. So I made this jam yesterday and slept on it, and when I woke up I was like, nah, you know what, I should produce this out a little bit. It should I should at least do maybe a bass line and some better drums, some more involved drums. And so I got up this morning. The jam, by the way, sounds like this. Right, so it was really straightforward, and I just wanted to post something like that, and then I was like, nah, you know what, I should at least do a little bit more. And so I added some extra drums. I added a cymbal from my first sample pack with prime loops. In every second section I added some extra stuff. We just have a second like offbeat cymbal. I took out the hi-hats so that I could add them in for intensity. Oh, actually in the second day I leave the hi-hats in. So we have a reduction in intensity because of the loss of the cymbals in the second A, but we don't lose the hi-hats, so it doesn't drop all the way back down to the initial intensity, but it's sort of like at a medium intensity before we go out to the last one, which, as you can see, has lots more drums in it. So actually, let's just listen to coming out of this A, going into the last section. You can hear all the drums. Alright, so let's talk about these drums real quick. That cymbal crash that we've got, I reversed that. That's just audio. We've got a tom roll, which is Linn drum. On that I've got Camel Crusher. I've got echo at 16th note. So these drums are actually just doing like a da-da-da-da. But because of the 16th note echo, at 30% wet and 96% dry, we have sort of like a fake 16th note tom roll. I've got wider on that, 97%, so that it's like wide in the mix. And I've got a channel EQ cutting off the very lowest lows just for that, you know, I don't have to explain that. We've got an open hi-hat slice off the start of the section. Here, I'll just play it. And then you can hear it in context. Right? And that's just for like frequency range presence. On that I've got Camel Crusher and OTT to like really distort it and make it just a brick, and then a compressor from the kick so that you feel it pulse with the kick. Got a Lindrum snare and claps. And we've got a Lindrum hi-hat, on which I have Camel Crusher and OTT to make it more of a brick, Transient Designer to pull down the sustain a little bit, Channel EQ to shape it a little bit because there was a lot of low frequency stuff on it. So I cut it really, really high, but then just made it like a 6 decibel per octave curve. And that just makes it sound a little more natural. It makes it sound like it's not necessarily EQ'd, but just doesn't have much low on it in the context of the mix. On that, I'm doing, again, a fake eighth note kind of thing. If you look in here, you can see these are just hitting quarter notes, but I've done like a low opacity, a low wetness here, so you hear double the amount. Yeah, and that way you get a bit of a pulse, and that was just an easier way to do this. Here, if I wanted to, we could double this echo and turn this down even more and get like a 16th note. So that's a fun way to potentially like create a faster hi-hat pattern without drawing them all in or messing with their velocities, you know, to get the right kind of pulse out of them. You can just fake it with an echo. And then we've got compressor from the kick so that it pulses with the kick. And that's the drums. What else do we have? We have 2 other things here. We have a bass line. This is the this is the Weatherman bass, which I assume is inspired by Weather Report. And that sounds like this. Yeah, so I stuck in a couple fills. Just little things like that to fill in some space and give some low end to it. And then we've got this high lead thing happening, which is just a super basic like sine wave massive patch doubled an octave with a low pass filter, dimension expander, a tiny little bit of reverb on it, and that sounds and looks like this. And that's mono rotate with legato triller and this much glide time, just to get that glide between the notes. Anyway, the whole thing sounds like this. Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time playing keyboards, so you can see like this is the length of the take versus like the bit of it that I finished up. It was about, I think I jammed for like 12 minutes just on the same drum beat, and then at the end just cut out this last little bit that I really liked, and then I kind of screwed some stuff up here, so I cut this off. But I mean, it's almost a minute. Not much of a keyboard player. I do love playing keyboards though, and I just wanted to jam around a little bit. Anyway, there you go, January Day 21.